Last year, 2020, aviation industry was hit hard by the pandemic. A lot of pilots in the airline industry all over the world lost their jobs. I am one of those affected because I lost my job too. So I asked these truly inspiring pilots from different parts of the world this question. In your honest opinion, do you think aspiring pilots should pursue their flying career this 2021 even if the aviation industry is down? And here's what we have to say.
Hi everybody, as always, I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. So I've just received a question about whether or not you should be going for your pilot training right now. And it is a more complicated question right now than it has been for many years because of the devastating effect that the pandemic has had on the industry. However, I am still quite positive, and I'll tell you why. The reason is that the fundamentals behind the need for pilots haven't really changed that much. Yes, there's been a huge downturn, a lot of people have lost their jobs now, and that will have a short-term impact on whether or not you can get a job within the next year or two. But the thing is, it will take you about 2 to 3 years to do your training and get onto the market. And the fact is that there is still a huge amount of baby boomers, from the generation in the 50s and 60s who are going into retirement. And in fact, I think that the pandemic has probably caused quite a few of those to actually leave the marketplace already. Which means that those seats are going to have to be filled at some point. And there's still quite a lot of aircraft in the order books of the airlines, and those aircraft will to a large extent be delivered. Someone is going to have to fly those. So I think that if you are looking into going for training right now, what you should be doing is maybe take the next 6 months or so to really investigate. Make sure that you go for a good, high, reputable flight school. Make sure that you've done maybe a pre-assessment so that you know that you're suitable to go in for this occupation. But then, if this is your dream, I do think that you will have a chance to get a job in the next 3 or 4 years or so. But, be realistic. Know that if you would have gone for the training maybe back in 2015, maybe you would have had your first interview within a few months after the school's finished. Now you should probably count on 6 months to a year at least before you get the first interview. So make sure that you kind of calculate for that you budget for that, and as I said, once again, make sure that you find a good training organization, okay? That's really, really important. But I am looking forward to, once the business starts picking up, which it will do, you just ask around, Ask what people is going to do once the pandemic is over. I'm betting that most of them are going to say, well, I want to travel. And if that's the case, well then there needs to be airlines there to fly them. There needs to be pilots to fly the aircraft for those airlines. So I do think that we will see a big improvement in the airline business. I do think that there will be jobs for future pilots out there. So best of luck, and keep the chin up and focus on getting, your pilot skills and your pilot competencies up. Get yourself into a good flight school, and good luck. I hope to see you up there soon.
Hi, my name is Tanis, and I was asked by pilot Chezka, do you think an aspiring pilot should consider aviation in 2021? Well, great question. Because right now the aviation industry has completely slowed down. There's very few jobs, and it would be very difficult starting out. So should you pursue your dreams in any industry if it's difficult? Well, it doesn't matter if you're an aspiring pilot, you want to start a business, or another career path. There will be challenges and there will be setbacks. Right now in aviation, it will definitely take patience and perseverance. The industry might look different. Maybe legacy carriers, their conditions will be changed. It may be more contract work. So know that it could look different, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't go after what you're passionate about. On my journey, I experienced a couple big setbacks. After 9/11, there were very few jobs for a brand new commercial pilot. I went back to university, then worked for a flight instructing school for 3 years before I got my first multi-engine flying job. Then in 2008, with the financial crisis, it took longer to get a jet job. I ended up flying a Beech 1900 for 5 years. So in total, it took 10 years before I made it to a major carrier flying a jet aircraft. So that was my journey, and I did face setbacks, and it took 10 years. Starting out now, know that it'll take time. It doesn't matter if it's aviation or another career path or goal, there will be challenges, and to go after your dreams, whatever they are.
Hello, Bjorn pilot here. That was one of the most spectacular videos I have recorded during my work. I got a question if you should dare to start a pilot education now. I think you cannot look too much on how the situation is right now, because it will be very different in 3 or 4 years when you have finished your pilot education. When I started engineering education many years ago, they were closing down the aviation industry in Sweden, and when I graduated the situation was completely different and there were lots of jobs. So I really think you should take the risk if you want to be a pilot. You can check my videos on YouTube or Instagram if you want to get the feeling of how it is to work as a pilot. I wish you good luck, follow your heart and go for it if you want to be a pilot.
Hello my aviation friends, my name is Pilot Jan Lukas on Instagram. I'm 27 years young, I'm from Germany, and I worked in the aviation industry 5 years now. Recently, like the past month, and it's already the past year, the aviation industry got hit really hard. Lately get the question so often, is it worth flying as a pilot or do pilot training at the moment? They should continue the training, no matter what. I know it's hard with the times right now. Sometimes you get struggles due to COVID, but I think you should push through. I'm right now at a beautiful beach, which you can see in the background. But this is not because I'm here for work as a pilot. That is because I had to choose a different profession right now. So I chose a profession where I can keep my ATPL and aviation knowledge up to date and also have the time to refresh my licenses to keep them valid over the time. So as soon as the aviation industry is as it was before, I'm prepared and able to jump back into the cockpit as soon as possible. The demand of pilots around the world is not so high, but I think in the near future, in the next couple of months or maybe in the next year, the aviation industry is going to come back and people are going to travel more and more. But I'm pretty sure that traveling is going to be requested soon again. So aviation family, stay strong, and I wish you all the best, and I'm ready to hear your success stories in the near future, and stay safe. Always happy landings.
Hi everyone, my name is Jaswinder Kaur, and you know me as pilot Jassi. I am a captain on Airbus A320 aircraft, and your favorite Filipino pilot Chezka has asked me to answer this question for all of you. Whether it is the right time to start fresh, and especially people who wants to pursue their CPL to their pilot training. In my opinion, the right time is now. I do understand there are so many people right now who have lost their job and the demand is not that great, but trust me, it's picking up. And if you start now, you will be actually ready by the time the demand will be again back to where it was. And if you know that before the COVID time, the only news we used to hear was that, how short we are on pilots around the world. So there's no need to, feel sorry or be sad. I would say, yes, these are tough times, but of course, this shall pass too. Be very optimistic and go ahead, but only if you're very passionate for this thing, if you're very passionate to be a pilot like I was. When I started, even for me, it was the time when people were saying, why you want to be a pilot, there are no jobs But then I just wanted to be a pilot, and the job follows. So all the very best once again, and take care of yourself. See you.
Dear Chezka, and hello to all the student pilots out there in the Philippines. It's Captain Joe. I hope you guys are doing great. Chezka asked me a super important question. Shall you guys continue in your pursuit of becoming a pilot in 2021 in regards of the whole corona pandemic? Personally, I would say yes, because I'm pretty sure that when this whole corona situation dies down and everyone has their vaccines, that there will be a huge demand in air travel. Everyone wants to leave their homes again and wants to go on holiday and travel around the world. And I'm pretty sure that if we don't take care of it now, there will be a huge lack in pilots. So what you do right now is probably the right thing to do, especially if you're at the beginning of your training. You still have 2 to 3 years ahead of your training. So by the time that you're done, you're most likely just going to jump into a huge demand of pilots, and you might be the lucky ones who then can immediately start with the airlines. For the time being though, stick to what you do best, is meaning doing a lot of learning and studying for your courses and for your exams. And also, if you have completed your training and you are now sort of in between jobs, I would highly recommend that you either become a flight instructor or you look into parachute dropping, so skydiving, piloting. There's maybe even a little cargo airline that's around in your local area that you could fly for. Just be always on the lookout, seek any job opportunity. It does not always have to be an airline at your first job. You can also start flying for a small little airline who just flies Cessnas. It doesn't really matter, as long as you have something to do after flight school, meaning just gaining some hours, doing the best that you can in the air. That experience is the one thing that really stands out on your CV once you are then applying to the airlines. That's the recommendation I can give you. Hold tight, never give up. That's my biggest advice I can give you. And obviously, a good pilot is always learning. I am still in my books. I'm still going through stuff and still improving my skills and all that. So continue also following on Chezka. I'm pretty sure she has a lot of great information for you guys in the Philippines, what you can learn from and profit from in her channel. Also come over to my channel. I have a lot of technical videos coming out for you guys that might help you during your studies. And that's it for me. So take care, all the best, and I'm looking forward to see you guys in the future soon, because as I keep saying, the aviation industry is really just that small, meaning we'll bump into each other at one point at a layover, at an airport terminal, you never know. Take care, you guys, all the best.
Hello everyone, my name is Paula Cespedes and I am a pilot here in Paraguay. We are all going through a hard time in the industry right now for the COVID thing, but I think that shouldn't be a problem for everyone who is trying to become a pilot. I think that instead of push through, you should push forward, because it's a beautiful profession, and once you start, you don't want to leave it. So it's truly a beautiful opportunity to make your dreams come true and also get to know a lot of places. And I just wish you all the best and hope you get through it and stay strong, because being a pilot is something you won't regret never in your life.
One of the reasons we became pilot is supposedly it's the passion. So whether you fly small planes, big planes, you fly, you still pursue your dreams. I speak for myself. I started flying small planes like this, but now I'm flying an Airbus 330. So during our times, we don't have that much airlines, so we just continue building up time in general aviation, charter flight, cargo flights, instructionals. Then I got the chance to hired by Filipina Airlines. Became captain in about less than 2 years. Assisted flying jets from Cessna 152. Actually, Cessna 150. So just continue, pursue your dreams, and who knows. If you have to continue your flying, yes, as a pilot, kasi this is just a temporary setback for us. And even during our times, there's a few airlines operating, but we still continue fly. So the advantage of this is you can finish your flying time, gain more experience. Then when the hiring becomes available or they start to rehire again, you have plenty of experience already. So that's the advantage of, sort of an advantage of having this break with the aviation industries.
Hi guys, this is Captain JC Rage, and in my opinion, this is the best time for you to start your flight training, because even though the aviation world is down right now, nobody's hiring, but we already have the vaccines. Sooner or later, we will recover. If you start your training now, in 1.5 years, you're halfway, or maybe in 2 years, you'll be done with your training, and at that time, everybody will be hiring again, because the aviation world will certainly recover, because businesses can never work without air travel. It is the fastest travel mode of transportation for people to travel and to do business. So if you're going to start 2 years from now, that will be very late for you to be in the game. The aviation world has recovered, then you will be qualified and you will be competitive among other applicants who wants to join the airlines. So start your training now.
Hey guys, I'm coming to you from New York. My name is Captain Zoya Agarwal. I'm a commander on the Boeing 777s. I want to give a huge shout out and hello to every single aspiring pilot. Continue dreaming, because every great reality begins with a beautiful dream, and every beautiful dream begins with a beautiful dreamer, and that is all of you. So continue dreaming, work hard, and you will achieve it. Bye.
To all aspiring pilots, this are really challenging times for everyone. Things might have been tough in the aviation industry, but it doesn't mean it will stop. Everything just slow down. Never let go of your dream of becoming a pilot. I would say this is the best time for you to prepare yourself for great opportunities in the future. The world will always need pilots to fly airplanes. And when the time comes that things get better, keep in mind that chance favors those people who are prepared and ready. So never stop dreaming. Never let any challenges hinder you from getting your goals. Remember, nothing worth having comes easy. To all my friends and colleagues in aviation, always keep in mind that tough times don't last. Tough people do. Believe that you can make things happen. My name is Genesis. This is your captain speaking.
Hello, I'm Frank Desiderio. I was an airline captain just before the global pandemic happened. Basing my analysis solely on the movement of the stock companies that I own, where most of these were bought when the value crashed. Now I am seeing an average of 50 to 65% recovery of the Philippine businesses, economy as well, from the start of the global lockdown and financial crisis brought by this pandemic. The country is already moving up in terms of revenues that can be used on their present operation based on their reduced size. Though this amount may not be sufficient or to continue their expansion program prior to the COVID lockdown. Switch of a business model or diversification may be a good idea that can match or support the present need of the local and global market. Now the question, should aspiring pilots push through with their flying career this 2021? My answer is yes. In comparison to my stock companies that I described, in March of 2020 when pandemic occurred and brought down all economic activities, shut down business establishments, laid off people from their jobs, and that including aviation industry. But in my opinion, aviation was not totally shut down. Corporate flying continued. Cargo or freighter airline companies prospered. Some other airlines who were dependent on their domestic market still continued. We are all aware of pilot recruitments happening right now. So my point is the business has gone a long way up already from the recent crash. And just like an investor, I find this time the best opportunity to ride the way up. And if my analysis are correct, I'm guessing by second or third quarter of 2022, both old and new airline companies should start hiring people for their expansion. Looking forward by 2023 onwards, the aviation industry should be back to its own feet.
G'day Chezka, my name's Captain Chris, and anybody who's watching this who's thinking of a career in aviation, I truly believe that right now is the perfect time to become a pilot. The industry is on its knees at the moment and it's been through lots of turmoil in the past, but I believe that right now, with a lot of people leaving the industry, especially my age group, the 55 to 65-year-old age group, many of those pilots will take early retirement, they'll never return. A large group in between will obviously never return, and a lot of people have decided that aviation is not a career for them. So I believe over the next 18 months to 2 years, if anybody learns to fly now, they'll be in a good position to take the opportunities that will become available once flying starts again. Flying's not going to stop. The airliners are out there. People need to fly, family and friends. They need to visit. They need business. So aviation will continue. And if you do your license, you'll be in a great position in the future. So good luck. I'll see you in the skies. Follow your dreams and reach for the skies.
Hi everyone. I do recommend that you pursue your flying career now. Actually, in my opinion, really now is really the perfect time. It's kind of like investing in the stock market, you know. When the stocks are down, that's the time that you usually want to put your money in. Aviation is rebuilding, and very soon airlines are going to be back to work and are going to be in need of very competent and eager pilots. So if you guys are interested in pursuing your flight career, again, now's the time. And of course, I do recommend Alpha Aviation Group Philippines to help you kickstart your career.
I 100% believe that right now in 2021 is the best time for all of you guys to start your flight training. Do you guys miss traveling? Because I do, and I'm sure that everyone else in the world miss traveling as well. Right now, there might not be a huge demand for airline pilots, but as soon as they figure out this whole pandemic situation and get the coronavirus under control, everyone's gonna be traveling again. They're gonna go and see family and friends, and that's gonna maybe take a year or two, but that's why it's the perfect time for you guys to start your training. It's gonna take you maybe a year to get through all your ratings and all your certificates, and time for you to build your hours, and by that time, hopefully, they're gonna figure out the whole pandemic situation and you'll be done, ready to get hired in the airlines. You'll be first in line to get hired.
Hi Chezka, and hi to all your subscribers and all our aspiring pilots. And to answer your question, well, definitely 2020 or the year of COVID-19 took a lot of things from us, from most loved careers, from our loved ones, and from a lot of opportunities. And I understand how difficult it is for all of us, or for many of us in the aviation industry. I know some have shifted to a different career just to make both ends meet. I laud those who were quick to adapt and were able to reshape their future. It's okay not to be okay. And when things go wrong, it's okay to restart. Personally, I lost quite a few things during the pandemic. I lost my dad, I lost my job. I almost lost that reason to believe. Good thing one thing remained in me, and that is hope. For 2021, we will continue to be more hopeful in our journey. We will never stop praying. If you are on this path, just carry on. Make use of this opportunity to train hard and better your craft, strive harder, and never lose sight of your dream destination. As they say, pilots are built to last, and we are of a different breed, as they say, because we brave even the most turbulent skies with our calculated maneuvers. And the end of the pandemic is already in sight. It's realistically, there's some sort of oversupply at the moment, and it will take time, before we go back to the pre-COVID levels. Well, what's most important is that we stay true to our commitment. You might want to ask yourself, what is your intention? What is your goal of becoming a pilot? And then, if you have that answer, it could be your response to the question of whether or not pursuing your pilot career or your pilot journey. I'm Steve, Dailisan, and I hope to fly with you soon.
Hi. It's a frequently asked question if should aspiring pilots continue their flying careers. My opinion would be yes, definitely you have to continue. As we see the slump or the effects, economic effects of this pandemic, we also see that there's hope on the horizon with introduction of the vaccines. And as we learn more about creating travel bubbles and how we're able to cope with the air transport demands and needs, we foresee that the world, like everything else, will be able to cope and overcome these challenges. Thus, there will be a need for pilots. You will see a lot of things online right now that's talking about machines or artificial intelligence are taking over pilot jobs and everything. Pay no attention to that for now. As we can see right now, we parked a lot of brand new planes that will be coming to service again soon. Those things would need pilots. We have not seen any introduction of any technologies or innovations that are actually put there to replace the pilots. Another factor there is that a lot of the pilots right now who are not very active are also due for retirement in the next 2 or 3 years. That would require a replacement of a fresher batch of pilots. So definitely the demand will be ongoing. This is a slowdown. This is a temporary setback, and it should not be a reason for you to not pursue what you want. Personally, I come from a generation or a batch of pilots that during our time back in the 90s, there simply was just no openings. The slots were very few and far between as far as opportunities are concerned, but that didn't stop us from pursuing our passion in aviation. It didn't matter if you're flying a King Air, if you're flying a Cessna, or you're flying a jet. What matters is that you're flying and you're enjoying what you do. And that should be the prime reason that drives you to become a professional pilot.
Hi, this is Captain Gurprit Singh from India. I'm flying Airbus 320 from past 3 years. I understand the whole world was affected by this pandemic, especially the aviation sector was very much affected. Message through this video I want to give to aspiring pilots that you should go ahead with your aviation career, because it will take at least 2 to 3 years to finish up your aviation things like CPL, type rating, etc. By the time you finish up your things, you'll get many opportunities on your way related to aviation. Don't lose hope. Always chase your dreams. Fly high.
What's going on, guys? My name is Nick Priest. I'm currently a first officer on the Airbus 320 based here in Melbourne, Australia. And Chezka has asked me for my opinion on whether I think you as aspiring pilots should still push through in 2021. And my short answer to that is yes, I still think you should pursue it, even obviously with everything that's going on in the world right now. So to expand on that, obviously the aviation industry right around the world has been hit very hard by what's going on. But when the world does start to return to some sort of normality, flying jobs will always be there. So you guys may be aware that over the last few years there kind of has been a pilot shortage. Obviously that is not really the case right now, but moving forward in the years to come, I believe obviously everyone will need to get back to flying and flying around the world. So those jobs will always be there. And to continue flying right now and pursuing that career, I believe is a great time to sort of build your hours, continue with your training and everything like that. And as you build your hours, airlines will start hiring again. There may even be new airlines that will come out, and then obviously those new airlines are going to need new pilots and everything like that. So right now, I know it may look a little bit grim, but I do believe it will turn around and aviation will pick back up again. So if I can, let me encourage you to continue pursuing your aviation career and continue to pursue that flying job that you've always wanted. After all, we obviously got into this aviation industry and started flying because we simply love it. So don't give up, keep chasing that dream, keep building those hours, and I'm sure we'll see you guys in the skies very soon.
Hey guys, aspiring pilots looking to get some motivation on whether to continue to train as a pilot. I reckon you should, because you may as well continue to be doing the training that you want to do, because at least it's something that you intend to do. Like I said the other day on a podcast, it's no use you going to do something that you don't want to do. Yeah, remember, you guys are young. There's a lot of aviators right now reaching retirement age. A lot of people will be going in the next 5 years. And, you know, there's so many slots. The human spirit is to travel, and people are going to travel. They're going to do it. Watch this space. So if you want to fly and you really want to do it, don't give up. Don't go and do something else. Just keep with the project of getting yourself a pilot's license. And I'll be waiting for you later.
We all have spoken, not because the aviation industry is down, means that your dreams should die too. In my opinion, this is really the best time to start your flying career because by the time you finish the course, aviation industry will surely be back on its feet. I may have lost my airline pilot job, but this will not stop me from inspiring people to enter aviation. Go for your dreams, whatever career path you are in. I know some of you are doubting yourself and losing hope already. I have been there too. But trust me, your dreams will always be worth it. This is Filipinapilotchezka, and I hope this video changes your life.